Good morning, everyone. So we have studied about molecular orbital theory in the last class, right? Molecular orbital theory. So which are the two types of molecular orbitals?
Sigma and pi.
What's its name? Sigma and pi. Not Sig. Okay, Sigma and pi. Which are the two types of molecular orbitals? Which one, Aditya? Not clear once again. Bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbital, right? Bonding molecular orbital, then anti-bonding molecular orbital. The sigma and pi, that's different types of bonds depending upon the overlapping between these two orbitals, right? Okay, then we have learned certain things about this molecular orbital theory. That means how they are connected to the electronic configuration and molecular behavior, right? So how can we say that a molecule is stable? John, can you tell me?
Ma'am, if they have less energy,
For which orbital?
bonding.
Yeah, bonding molecular orbital has lesser energy. Or what about the number of electrons in bonding and anti-bonding?
If the number of electrons in bonding orbital is more, then the electron is stable.
Stable. Otherwise, it is unstable. Okay. Then what about bond order? How can we calculate the bond order? Malavika, can you tell me?
1/2 into number of bonding minus number of anti-bonding.
Okay, 1/2 into Nb minus Na. Nb means number of electrons in bonding molecular orbital. Na means number of electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, then if the value of bond order is 1, what about their type of bond? Single bond, double bond, or triple bond? Value of bond order is 1. Gaia, can you tell me?
Single bond.
Yeah, single bond. If the value of bond order is 2, that is double bond, and the value is 3, that is triple bond, right? Then what about the magnetic nature? How can we determine a molecule is paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Abhinav, can you tell me? Abhinav. Are you there? Yes. How can we classify a substance as paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Marin, can you tell me?
If one or more molecular orbitals is singly occupied, it is paramagnetic, and if it is doubly occupied, it is diamagnetic.
Okay, any unpaired electron there in the molecular orbital configuration, it is considered as paramagnetic, and if there is no unpaired electron, it is considered as diamagnetic. Okay, so now we are going to learn about the bonding in some homonuclear diatomic molecules. Okay, bonding in some homonuclear diatomic molecules. So you can write the heading: bonding homonuclear diatomic molecules. Okay. Children, please switch on your videos. So first one about hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen molecule. So here the title itself, bonding in some homonuclear diatomic molecule. Homonuclear means same atoms combined together to form a molecule. Okay. In the formation of a molecule, same atoms combined together or different atoms combined together, right? If two hydrogen atoms combined together, it is considered as homonuclear because same atoms. Okay. Then H2O, that's also an example for a molecule, but in the case of water molecule, different atoms combined together, right? Hydrogen and oxygen. So here we are discussing about the bonding in some homonuclear diatomic molecules. Diatomic means only two atoms, and the two atoms are same. So first example is hydrogen molecule. So in the case of hydrogen molecule, we know that two hydrogen atoms combine together to form a molecule, right? Two hydrogen atoms combine together to form a molecule. So what will be the total number of electrons in hydrogen molecule? Total number of electrons. Yes, tell me. Total number of electrons in hydrogen molecule. Two hydrogen atoms combined together. In each hydrogen atom, only one electron, right? So what will be the total number of electrons?
2 electrons.
2 electrons. Okay. So the total number of electrons is 2. Now we are going to write the electronic configuration, molecular orbital electronic configuration of this hydrogen molecule. So next one, molecular orbital electronic configuration. We learned how to write the configuration of an atom, right? That is 1s2, 2s2, then 2p6, 3s2, like that. Here we are going to write the molecular orbital electronic configuration. We already learned the order of this molecular orbital electronic configuration. Do you remember, children, which one is the first molecular orbital? First one. Yeah. Tell me.
Sigma 1s.
Very good. Sigma 1s. Okay. And the maximum capacity of each molecular orbital is 2. Only 2 electrons can occupy in each molecular orbital. So here it is sigma 1s. Only 2 electrons. So sigma 1s2. This is the molecular orbital electronic configuration of hydrogen molecule. Only 2 electrons. These 2 electrons will enter into the first molecular orbital, that is sigma 1s. Then the next step, we will find out the bond order. Bond order. What is the equation? Half into NB minus NA, right? Half into NB minus NA. So here half into, what is the number of electrons in bonding orbital? How many electrons are there in bonding molecular orbital? Tell me, children.
2.
2, right? 2. What about anti-bonding? Any anti-bonding molecular orbital in this hydrogen molecule?
No.
No, it's 0, right? How can we distinguish this bonding molecular orbital and anti-bonding? If it is sigma or pi, these two are bonding molecular orbital. Okay. Then if it is sigma star or pi star, these are anti-bonding molecular orbital. Anti-bonding. Okay. So here only one molecular orbital, that is sigma 1s. Okay. And the sigma 1s is bonding molecular orbital. The number of electron present in this bonding molecular orbital is 2. So half into 2 minus 0. What about the value? 1, right? So which type of bond exists between this hydrogen molecule? Bond order is 1. So
Single bond.
single bond. Okay. Single bond. Okay. Next, we are going to find out the magnetic nature of this hydrogen molecule. Okay, magnetic nature. So look at the configuration and tell me if this substance or molecule is diamagnetic or paramagnetic. Sigma 1s2, that's the molecular orbital electronic configuration. So what about the magnetic nature? If there is any unpaired electron, that is considered as paramagnetic. If there is no unpaired electron, it is diamagnetic. Here the configuration is sigma 1s2. So what about this one, children? Jewel?
And paramagnetic.
Para means unpaired electron will be there. Any unpaired electron here?
No, ma'am, no unpaired electron is there.
Okay, so it's diamagnetic. Okay, diamagnetic. Only 2 electrons. These 2 electrons are paired. So you can write in the bracket, no unpaired electron. So using this molecular orbital electronic configuration, we can determine the bond order, then the nature of bond, then the magnetic nature. Okay. So that's about hydrogen molecule. So here, what about the stability of this molecule? Is it stable or not? We have learned that if the number of electrons present in bonding molecular orbital is greater than anti-bonding molecular orbital, that molecule is stable. So what about hydrogen molecule? Is it stable or not? Tell me.
Stable.
Molecule is stable because the electrons are only present at bonding molecular orbital. Okay, that means the number of electrons present in bonding molecular orbital is greater than the number of electrons present in anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, so we can write like this: Nb is greater than Na for hydrogen molecule. Therefore, it is stable. Have we completed this one?
No.
Okay. Adulya, have we completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So next we can do with helium molecule. So the second example is helium molecule. Okay. And what about the total number of electrons in helium molecule? So here also 2 helium atoms combine together for the formation of helium molecule because it is diatomic, right? So what about the total number of electrons? Yes, it's 4, right? Because in each helium atom, there are 2 electrons. So here the total number of electrons is 4. Next one, molecular orbital configuration. Molecular orbital configuration. Niranjan, can you tell me the configuration? Sigma 1s2, then after sigma, which one? There are total 4 electrons, right? So after sigma 1s2, next one is, what about anti-bonding? Sigma 1s2, then sigma star 1s2. Okay. Sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2. So you have to thorough with the order of this molecular orbital. Okay. Sigma 1s2, then sigma star 1s2. This is the molecular orbital configuration of helium molecule. The next step, bond order. Bond order. Half into Nb minus Na. So what about the number of electrons in bonding molecular orbital? He told you sigma and pi are the bonding molecular orbitals. Sigma star and pi star are the anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So what about the number of electrons in bonding molecular orbital?
2.
It's 2. Minus number of electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbital?
2.
2. Right? So what will be the value? Half into 2 minus 2. That is 0, right? So what about the stability of this molecule? Bond order is 0. The molecule is unstable. Yeah, or does not exist. Molecule is unstable or does not exist. We have learned the criteria for the stability of molecules, right? If the number of electrons present in bonding molecular orbital is greater than anti-bonding molecular orbital, then the molecule is considered as stable. Here the number of electrons present in bonding and anti-bonding both are same. Okay, so this molecule is unstable or does not exist. So we will not find the magnetic nature or the type of bond between these two atoms in helium molecule. Clear, children? Yes. And the same thing happens in the case of beryllium molecule also. Okay, beryllium molecule. So the next example is beryllium molecule. Okay, third one, Be2, beryllium molecule. What about the total number of electrons? Total number of electrons?
8.
8. Because each beryllium atom contains 4 electrons. So total 8 electrons. Next one, we will write the molecular orbital configuration. Sigma 1s2, then sigma star 1s2, then sigma 2s2. Next one is sigma star 2s2. Now we can find out the bond order. Half into Nb minus Na. That's equal to half into, what about the total number of electrons in bonding molecular orbital? 2 plus 2. That is 4. And in the case of anti-bonding also 2 plus 2, 4. So half into 4 minus 4, that is also equal to 0. Therefore, the molecule is unstable or does not exist. Clear? Is this clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then next example, lithium molecule. Third one, sorry, fourth one, right? That is lithium molecule. Li2, lithium molecule. What about the total number of electrons? Yeah, 3 plus 3, that is 6. In each lithium atom, there will be 3 electrons, so total 6 electrons, right? The next one is molecular orbital configuration. Shabri, can you tell me the configuration?
Sigma 1s2,
Sigma 1s2,
sigma star 1s2,
sigma star 1s2,
sigma 2s2.
sigma 2s2. Sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2. Next, we can find out the bond order. Bond order. The equation is half into Nb minus Na. And Mary, can you tell me what will be the bond order? What is the total number of electron in bonding molecular orbital? Once again, Nb? 4. Okay. What about Na? 2. 4 minus 2. So here it is half into 2. That is 1. So what about the type of bond? Exists between 2 lithium atoms. Single bond, double bond, or triple bond?
Single bond.
Yeah, single bond. Single bond. Then what about the nature, magnetic nature? Diamagnetic or paramagnetic? Any unpaired electron here? Any unpaired electron?
No.
No, right? So it is diamagnetic. Diamagnetic. In bracket, you can write no unpaired electron. And these lithium molecules, it will exist only in vapor phase. That's not common. That's not a common molecule. It only exists in vapor phase. Shall I move to next example, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then fourth one. That is carbon molecule. Not fourth one, fifth one. Carbon molecule. That is C2. C2. So what about the total number of electrons?
12.
Yes, 12. Because each carbon contains 6, right? So the total number of electrons is 12. Next, we can write the electronic configuration. Sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, then sigma star 2s2. Then what will be the next molecular orbital? There are 2 types of increasing order for this molecular orbital. For oxygen molecule and fluorine molecule, it's a different order. For all other remaining molecules, there's a particular order. So can you tell me, children, after sigma star 2s2, which one is the next molecular orbital?
Pi 2
Pi. Yeah, that's right. Pi
Pi
2 px equal to pi 2 py, right? And in this pi 2 px and pi 2 py, they have same energy. Okay, so you have to always remember, after the filling of singly occupied orbitals, singly occupied electron in each orbital, you have to fill for the next electron in each orbital. Clear? Here already 2, 4, 6, 8 electron. So next one is pi 2px 2 equal to pi 2py2. Okay, pi 2px2 equal to pi 2py2. Then count the total number of electrons. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, right? Sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, pi 2px2 equal to pi 2py2. Next, we can find out the bond order. Equation is half into Nb minus Na, right? Nb minus Na. So you can tell me the total number of electrons in bonding molecular orbital. Tom Sinton, can you tell me?
8.
Nb is 8, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 8 minus, what about anti-bonding? 4. Okay. Half into 8 minus 4. So half into 4, that is equal to 2. So what about the type of bond exists between these two carbon atoms? Double bond, right? Double bond. Okay. Because the bond order value is 2, that's why it is double bond. Then what about the magnetic nature? Paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Diamagnetic, because no unpaired electron. Okay. The next example is oxygen molecule. Oxygen molecule. O2. So what is the total number of electrons?
16.
Total number of electrons is 16. Okay. Because each oxygen atom contains 8 electrons, right? So the total number of electrons is 60. The next one is molecular orbital electronic configuration. Molecular orbital electronic configuration. We will start with sigma sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2. Then what about the next one? Pi 2px equal to pi 2py or sigma 2pz?
Sigma 2
Yes. Sigma 2pz. Okay. Sigma 2pz, that is equal to 2. So only for oxygen and fluorine molecule, it will follows this order. After sigma 2pz, we will move to pi 2px, pi 2py. Then what about next one? Pi 2px, that is equal to pi 2py. What about the number of electrons in each? Already 10 electrons filled. So 2, 2, right? Then count the total number of electrons: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 40. Here the total number of electrons is 60. So can you tell me, children, what is the next molecular orbital?
Last half represent.
Which one? Pi star or sigma star? Pi star, right? In each order, only difference in the sigma 2pz and pi 2px, pi 2py. All the remaining molecular orbitals are following the same order. Okay. So pi star 2px, that is equal to pi star 2py. Then you can tell me, children, what about the total number of electron in each pi 2px and pi 2py? Only 2 electrons remaining. Yes, only 2 electrons remaining. So how can we distribute these 2 electrons to pi 2px and pi 2py?
1.
Yes, 1, 1. Okay, according to Hund's rule, only after the filling of each electron in each orbital, we will go for the next one. Okay, so this is the order: pi star 2px1, that is equal to pi star 2py, because these 2 orbitals are equal in energy. Okay, so this is the molecular orbital configuration of oxygen molecule. The next one is bond order. Bond order, that is equal to half into Nb minus Na. Half into Nb minus Na. So what about the total number of electron in bonding molecular orbital?
10.
Yes, 10, right? Okay. Then what about anti-bonding? 2, 4, 6. Okay, 10 minus 6. So half into 4, that is equal to 2. So which type of bond? Single bond, double bond, or triple bond? Double bond. Okay. The next one about their magnetic nature. Paramagnetic or diamagnetic?
Paramagnetic.
Yes, here it is paramagnetic. Because unpaired electron, presence of unpaired electron. Presence of unpaired electron. Here you can see pi star 2px1, pi star 2py1. These two are the unpaired electrons. So here it is paramagnetic. Clear, children? So that's about the bonding in homonuclear diatomic molecules. Then only a small topic remaining, that is about hydrogen bond. Shall I move to next slide? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So here, in the case of this hydrogen bond, it's always exists between an electronegative atom with hydrogen. Okay. So when highly electronegative elements like nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, etc. attach to hydrogen to form covalent bond, we know that sharing of electrons exists between 2 atoms, right? Sharing of electrons exists between 2 atoms in covalent bond. So each pair, each electron or each atom share electron pairs for this bonding, right? So the both atoms have equal ownership or equal right for these 2 electrons they are sharing. But here this electronegative elements like nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, etc., they shows higher tendency to attract these electrons towards themselves. Okay, so based on this electronegative atom, it will get a partial negative charge, and this hydrogen, it will get partial positive charge. And this hydrogen, it will form hydrogen bond with the same atom in a molecule or with the different atoms in different molecule. That is hydrogen bond. When highly electronegative elements like nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, etc. are attached to hydrogen to form covalent bond, the electrons of the covalent bond are shifted towards the more electronegative atom. Okay, both atoms are sharing electrons for the formation of covalent bond, but the electronegative atom will attract the shared pair of electrons towards themselves. Thus, partial positive charge develops on hydrogen atom, which forms a bond with the other electronegative atom. This bond is known as hydrogen bond, and it is weaker than the covalent bond. Clear, children? So when hydrogen is bonded with some other electronegative elements like oxygen, fluorine, nitrogen, etc., they have a tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons towards themselves. As a result of this, hydrogen will acquire a partial positive charge, and this electronegative atoms will acquire a partial negative charge. So this hydrogen, it will forms a bond with other electronegative atoms. This bond is known as hydrogen bond, and it is weaker than the covalent bond. For example, you can see here in HF molecule, hydrogen and fluorine are the two atoms combined, right? Fluorine is an electronegative atom and hydrogen is electropositive. So this fluorine have a tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons towards themselves, and this hydrogen will acquire a partial positive charge. As a result of this hydrogen, it will forms a hydrogen bond with other atoms in a molecule. Okay, here you can see two types of lines between this HF, right? The solid line that represents the covalent bond, and this dotted line that will represent the hydrogen bond. In HF molecule, the hydrogen bond exists between hydrogen atom of one molecule and fluorine atom of another molecule. So we can represent this like this. This one is the representation of partial positive and partial negative. Always electronegative atom will acquire a partial negative charge, and the electropositive element that will acquire a partial positive charge. We have learned about this polar covalent bond, right? The same thing, but here the hydrogen is involved. That's why it is known as hydrogen bonding. So this hydrogen have a capacity to form hydrogen bond with other electronegative atoms. Clear, children? Have we completed the slide, children?
Mm.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Finished? Okay, then about the two types of hydrogen bonding. First one is intermolecular hydrogen bond and the second one is intramolecular hydrogen bond. So the intermolecular hydrogen bond, that is in between two molecules. Example HF. We can see that one HF molecule, it will forms hydrogen bond with another HF molecule. Okay. So intermolecular hydrogen bond, it is formed between two different molecules of the same or different compounds. Okay. It is formed between two different molecules of the same or different compounds. For example, in HF molecule, then water molecule, then between HF and H2O also comes under this intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay. The next one about the intramolecular hydrogen bonding. In this type, the halogen atom is in between two highly electronegative fluorine, nitrogen, oxygen atoms present within the same molecule. So this intramolecular hydrogen bonding, it happens within the same molecule itself. The hydrogen bond will formed between the electronegative atom and the hydrogen atom within the same molecule itself. That is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. And the example is orthonitrophenol. Okay, this one is the structure of orthonitrophenol. Here you can see one OH group. Okay, OH group and NO2 group. Two groups are there, NO2 group and OH group. So this hydrogen bond that is formed between this oxygen and hydrogen, between one oxygen of NO2 group and with the hydrogen of OH group. So this one is known as intramolecular hydrogen bonding. And if it is in between the molecules, that is intermolecular hydrogen bonding. If it is within the molecule, that is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Okay, so these are the portions for chapter 4. Children, I will show the slide again in the last class. Okay. One more thing. Now all are here, right? So in this Friday, there will be one OMR sheet examination. That means MCQ questions based on this chapter, chapter 4. Okay. I already sent the notes and I didn't include this examples for this bonding in homodiatomic molecule and different types of hybridization. These two parts, you can learn it from the textbook. I think you already note the points during the class itself, right? Both the different types of hybridization and this bonding in homonuclear diatomic molecules. If it is not, that's in the textbook, you can read the textbook. Okay. So I will show the slide again in the next class. And in the next class, we will start the new chapter, redox reaction. That's not for your exam in this term 1. But it's actually the portion that comes under term 1. Okay, that's a small chapter, so we can complete within this week or next itself. Okay, just 1 minute. Let me take your attendance. Okay, then thank you, children. See you in the next class. Bye. Have a nice day.